Welcome to webwatchworld.com. Let's take a look at changing a watch strap, which is usually a very easy project that any watch owner can do with a simple tool. Changing a strap can make a huge difference in the looks and comfort of your favorite watch, and it's a nice way to customize the watch to your tastes. I'm using a Vostok Komandirskie here as an example. This is a pretty cheap $34 watch, and it comes in a cheap bubble wrap package and a simple cardboard box with Russian instructions inside. But these are nice solid watches that are very popular with collectors. The watch band that comes with the manual wind Komandirskie is basically junk, so I use these nice silicone watch straps for my Komandirskie and Vostok Amphibias. The Amphibia comes with a metal bracelet that may look nice, but it's very cheap with hollow links. When I buy an Amphibia, I usually take the bracelet off and throw it away as soon as I get the watch, as do most other Amphibia owners. So you have to figure that a $54 Amphibia is going to be at least a $75 Amphibia as soon as you take it out of the box. But hey, $75 is still very cheap for a workhorse automatic watch with an in-house movement. Both the Komandirskie and the Amphibia use 18mm wide straps. That's the distance between the lugs. That's a pretty thin strap actually, but there are some nice decent choices in those widths. Here's the tool you'll need. This one's called a micro spike, but there are many similar tools you can find. One end is a pointed pusher tool, and the other end is a tiny fork that's used to push down on the spring bar to remove it from the watch. Once you have the tool, removing the strap is pretty easy. Basically, you just take the fork end and push down on the spring bar, and the strap should just pop right out. You can get fancy and buy one of these watch case holders, but on the cheap watches, I usually just turn them over and work from the backside over a soft cloth or towel. Be careful and you should be okay. The straps usually can be removed very easily on the Komandirskie, so this is a good watch to practice on. The spring bar is a little hollow tube with tiny springs inside, and there are two small diameter pins on either side. The spring-loaded pins fit into the holes inside the lugs on the watch case, and the spring pressure is what keeps the spring bar in place and the watch strap secure. It's a proven system. It's used on everything from cheap to very expensive watches. So once you know how to do it for one watch, you can pretty much do it for any watch. Although some of the more expensive watches do use screw tubes for holding the strap on. You can buy spring bars in all different lug widths, but I usually reuse the spring bars that came with the watch. Even the spring bars on this Komandirskie are actually pretty good quality, better quality actually than the strap, which is awful and makes me wonder why they just don't partner with some watch strap company to allow you to choose a better strap at the time you purchase the watch. They could probably make some extra money charging customers for the service. So again, I turn the watch over and use the tool to push down on the spring bar, and it usually comes right out. Make sure you only replace one side at a time. Notice that the long end, or what I call the tail of the strap, comes out from the 6 o'clock position on the watch. It's easy to get this confused at first if you take both sides of the strap off. This silicone strap has a deployant style clasp. It has a little safety latch on top. When you open that, you press the spring-loaded buttons on either side, and it opens up the clasp. I'm not a big fan of deployants, but this one is actually pretty good, and the strap is really nice and comfortable. I have a red silicone strap on this Amphibia I'm wearing. This one has a regular clasp or buckle, and the strap is very comfortable and soft, and it really helps make the watch feel better on my wrist. Now I'll push the spring bar through the new strap. It's usually a pretty tight fit to get it through that hole, and sometimes I'll put just the tiniest amount of silicone grease on it to help it slide through. You can buy a tube of this stuff at any auto parts store and it will last a lifetime. You don't want to put too much on it though. So now to reverse the procedure and install the new strap, I put one spring bar pin into the bottom hole in the lug, then move the top pin as close as possible to the other lug, trying to keep it on the bottom of the watch case in case it slips. So if it makes a scratch, it will hopefully be hidden underneath. Push down on the upper spring bar and carefully slide it into the lug, and you should feel it and hear it snap into place. Replacing a watch strap is very easy to do on the Komandirskie. Do one side at a time, take the tail off by pushing down on the spring bar, and then again push the spring bar out and put it into the other end of the silicone strap. It's a pretty tight fit, so I'll use the pin end of the spring bar removal tool to push it through. Again, place one end of the spring bar into the hole in the lug, bring the opposite side up to as close to the lug as possible, and push down on the spring bar with the fork end of the spring bar tool, and it pops right in. Here's the deployant clasp on the silicone strap. This one will have to be trimmed to fit, which I'll cover in another video. The deployant also attaches with a spring bar, and I can use the pin side of the tool to remove the end of the strap. The strap is notched, and you can cut it to fit, but you definitely want to make sure that you don't cut it too short. So that's a quick look at a watch strap change. Thanks for watching this video, and please visit webwatchworld.com for more information and wristwatch reviews.